What's up, guys? This is your friendly neighborhood extreme Spidey guy here, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review on 1980's The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. So, how was this movie made? Well, production took place almost exclusively at the EMI Elstree Studios, with sets based on real locations. Kubrick often worked with small crew, which allowed him to do many takes, sometimes to the exhaustion of the actors and staff. The new Steadicam mount was used to shoot several scenes, giving the film an innovative and immersive look and feel. The film was released in the US on May 23rd, 1980, and the UK on October 2nd by Warner Brothers. There were several versions for the theatrical release, each of which was cut shorter than the preceding cut. About 27 minutes was cut in total. Reactions to the film at the time of its release were mixed. Stephen King criticized the film due to its deviations from the novel. The film received two controversial nominations at the Razzies in 1981: Worst Director and Worst Actress, the latter of which was excuse me was later resigned in 2022 due to Kubrick's treatment of Duvall on set. Critical response to the film has since become favorable. In 2012, The Shining was ranked the 75th greatest film of all time in the Sight and Sound Directors Poll. In 2018, the film was selected for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, aesthetically significant. A sequel titled Doctor Sleep, based on King's 2013 novel of the same name, was adapted to film and was released in 2019. So, what's the story for this movie? Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson, becomes a winter caretaker at an isolated overlook hotel in Colorado, hoping to cure his writer's block. He settles in along with his wife, Wendy, played by Shelley Duvall, and his son, Danny, played by Danny Lloyd, who is plagued by psychic premonitions, and as Jack's writing goes nowhere and Danny's visions become more disturbing, Jack discovers the hotel's dark secrets and begins to unravel into a homicidal maniac hell-bent on terrorizing his family. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? This movie would have to be the best horror film I've seen, and my favorite horror film of all time, and one of the best movies I have ever seen in my life. Jack Nicholson definitely nailed the performance as Jack Torrance, and I also do love Jack Nicholson in the 1989 Batman movie as well, and he would have to, as well as in The Departed. And Jack Nicholson's Batman would have to be my third favorite Batman behind Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger. Shelley Duvall definitely nailed the performance as Wendy Torrance. Danny Lloyd definitely nailed the performance as Danny. No. Shelley Duvall definitely nailed the performance as Wendy Torrance. Danny Lloyd definitely nailed the performance as Danny Torrance. Scatman Crothers definitely nailed the performance as Dick Halloran. Barry Nelson definitely nailed the performance as Stuart Ullman. Philip Stone definitely nailed the performance as Dilbert Grady. Joel Turkel definitely nailed the performance as Lloyd. Ann Jackson definitely nailed the performance as the Doctor. Tony Burton definitely nailed the performance as Larry Durkin. Leah Bedlam definitely nailed the performance as the old woman in the bath. Billy Gibson nailed the performance as the old woman in the bath. Barry Deanson definitely nailed the performance as Bill Watson. And Lisa and Louise Burns definitely nailed the performance as the Grady twins. The music is definitely scary and spectacular in this film. The chase scenes are the chase scenes are definitely spectacular, as well as the climax in the movie. of where Jack Torrance of where Wendy is trying to defend herself, and then Jack cuts the door and says his iconic line, "Here's Johnny." And there's a and there's also some like great Easter eggs as well as from Looney Tunes and Disney cartoons like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Excuse me. And also not to mention Mickey Mouse as well. So the film starts off when Jack Torrance takes a winter caretaker where so the film starts off with when Jack Torrance takes a winter caretaker position at the remote Overlook Hotel in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, which closes every winter season. After his arrival, manager Stuart Ullman advises Jack that a previous caretaker, Charles Grady, killed his wife, two young daughters, and himself in a hotel. In the Boulder, Jack's son Danny has a promotion and seizure. Jack's wife, Wendy, tells the doctor about a past incident when Jack accidentally dislocated Danny's shoulder during a drunken rage. Jack has been sober ever since, before leaving for the seasonal break. The overlooked head chef, Dick Halloran, informs Danny of a telepathic ability the two share, which he calls the Shining. Halloran tells Danny the hotel also has a shine due to the residue of an unpleasant past events, and warns him to avoid room 237. A month passes and Danny starts having frightening visions, including two murdered sisters who look identical. Meanwhile, Jack's mental health deteriorates. He gets nowhere with his writing, is prone to violent outbursts, and he has dreams of killing his family. Danny gets lured to room 237 by unseen forces, and Wendy finds him with signs of psychical trauma. Jack investigates and encounters a female ghost in the room, but blames Danny for self-inflicting the bruises. Jack is enticed back to the drinking by the ghost bartender Lloyd. Ghostly figures, including Dilbert Grady, then begin appearing in the gold room. Grady informs Jack that Danny has telepathically contacted Halloran for assistance and says Jack must correct his wife and child. Wendy finds Jack's manuscript written with nothing but countless repetitions of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy when Jack threatens her life. Wendy knocks him unconscious with a baseball bat and locks him in the kitchen pantry. But she and Danny cannot leave due to Jack having previously sabotaged the hotel's two-way radio and snowcat. Back in their hotel room, Danny says red rum repeatedly, even writes the word in lipstick on the bathroom door. Wendy sees the word in the mirror and realizes that it's actually murder spelled backwards. Jack is freed by Grady and goes after Wendy and Grady with an axe. Danny escapes outside through the bathroom window, and Wendy fights Jack with a knife, and he tries to break through the door. Halloran, having flown back to Colorado from his Florida vacation to respond to Danny's telepathic SOS, reaches the hotel in a snowcat. His arrival distracts Jack, who ambushes and murders him in the lobby, then pursues Danny into the hedge maze. Wendy runs through the hotel looking for Danny, encountering the hotel's ghosts and vision for cascading blood similar to Danny's premonition. In the hedge maze, Danny misleads Jack and hides behind a snowdrift while Jack follows a false trail. Danny and Wendy reunite and leave Halloran's snowcat, leaving Jack to freeze to death in the maze. In a photograph in the Hotel Holloway, Jack is pictured standing amidst A Crowd of Party Revealers from July 4th, 1921. Now, are there any bad qualities I have with this movie? Absolutely not, and here's how I'm going to rate it. I am going to give The Shining a full solid 10 out of 10. So tell me your thoughts on The Shining. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's overrated? Just let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you all later.